So next, from the 5-minute rule, I want to talk about, let's see, let's talk about the two types of people. All right. And so these are this is regards to obsession. I think obsession is one of the strongest tactics that you can leverage. And so it's the people that essentially make obsession their weapon, and the people that make obsession their executioner. And so what does that mean? The people that are absolutely obsessed with going after their goals, they can use that as the most powerful weapon of all time. And there's a book that I read back in college, I think sophomore year or junior year of college, and it's called Be Obsessed or Be Average. And it's kind of a polarizing title, but the main message from the book was, if you can find something that you're passionate about, that you can become obsessed about every single day, there's zero competition out there for you, because 99% of people, they go through life doing something that they're not really that obsessed with. And for me, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm not that obsessed with vascular surgery. Like, sure, it's cool. I enjoy it. I think it helps a lot of people, but I'm not that obsessed with it. I'm easily, hands down, more obsessed with mentoring and coaching people than I am with vascular surgery. Like, having a student that's like, bro, I finally accomplished XYZ because of what you told me. Like, I had a student today that was like, my score just went up 20 points in the last like 15 days because of what you told me to change. I'm like, that's freaking awesome. Like, that's a really good feeling. And that's something that I really, really love. And I see myself doing super long term, like even into the next couple decades. And so action potential is just going to inherently grow with that over the years. So, and that's not to say that I'm not going to do vascular surgery in the future. And that's besides the point. But I think that it eventually is going to take a backseat even more. So we'll see if this prophecy of looking into the future actually holds true, but you guys can hold me to it, I guess. There's some plans in the works for 5 and 10-year goals that will involve mentoring and coaching. And I'm excited to see where things go, basically within one day of residency being done. So we'll see. But there will certainly be a substantial gap in between me finishing residency in the next 20 months and then me taking my first job as a vascular attending. And we got some plans for that time period. So that'll be fun. Anyways, so that's be obsessed or be average. And so the second category of people is the people that make obsession their executioner. And so these are the people that allow their obsession with whatever it is they're working on to raise their anxiety levels. And so this is something that a lot of us fall into from time to time, because you might be obsessed with studying. And so this is why you have to build these mental hacks into the background so that high level of attendance does not cause a high level of anxiety and stress. And so there's a couple different, let's say, curves to the anxiety spectrum. And so I'm going to just freelance this here and freeball it. We'll just talk about something that I'm making up as we go, but it's something that I've kind of envisioned in my head before. And so let's talk about different phases of anxiety. So phase number 1 is low care about a task, and that's going to cause low anxiety. Number 2 is going to be high care about tasks, and that's going to cause high anxiety. But there's different variables that we can plug in. So for low care about a task, low anxiety, if you have low care but high importance, that can still cause high anxiety. So let's say that you don't care about histology, but you know that if you fail your histology test, you're going to literally have to remediate the year. So that still has a high importance. That's going to cause high anxiety. But let's go to number 2. If you have a high care about a task and a high anxiety, what if you have high care but high mental fortitude? What's that going to cause? That's going to cause low anxiety. So you can literally change your anxiety levels about something by how you think about it and how you prepare for it. And so how can you build that mental fortitude? Well, you can build your mental bank account. That's how I think about it, because it honestly makes it like really tangible. And so every day you make deposits. And so that's why you do these little things that we're talking about, because every single day, if you do little things that make you mentally stronger, then there's literally just no way that whenever a disaster strikes that you're going to crumble. And so this is something that I think about honestly on almost a daily basis. It's like how can I become unkillable? And it sounds like super extreme, but if you put yourself in that perspective, like, how can I become so unmistakably mentally strong that I can work through just about anything? Like, God forbid a family disaster, you still go to the OR and you operate 10 minutes later. Like, you got to have that type of mental development. And I think the only way you can do that is to make deposits into your mental bank account every day. Because I promise you, in residency, there's going to be hard times. It's not going to be easy every day. And there's going to be things that happen that are out of your control that are going to completely devastate you. Like, and not to get into the specifics, but I know somebody who at the residency, her mom is having health issues. She's in and out of the hospital, in and out of chemo, and she still has to show up every single day and deliver babies. And so it's very, very mentally taxing, I'm sure, but she's developed a certain level of skills that will allow her to continue to push through that. And so if you don't build that mental fortitude, then you're not going to be ready for when disaster strikes, because disaster will strike. And I'm not trying to be negative Nancy about it, but we all are going to live long enough lives that something will go wrong in the next decade, in the next 2 decades, in the next year. You never know. And so the only way to be prepared is to get prepared for it. All right. So that's what I wanted to say about the two types of people. So you can make obsession your weapon. So that's point number one. We're going to bold that here. And then you can change your anxiety levels about tasks, basically just by how you think about them.